All right, welcome back, ladies and gents, to the ESL Pro League Finals. We are still finding out who will be working their way through to London between OpTic Gaming and Luminosity. Map 1 was Inferno, and it did go in favor to Luminosity after quite a bit of a struggle, to be fair. OpTic put up a great T-side, very, very impressive, but now they're walking into a really tough situation.
Well, and this is where they're really, I mean, all North American teams get tested. Is CT sides tend to be a struggle for them because at time it almost feels like at times they don't really have the information plays down, especially if there's like an opening kill that goes against them. Very hard for them to recover, and just off the back of that as well, Luminosity is like world beaters on this map. They can contend with everyone. The things they did to Na'Vi at the major, Na'Vi also one of the best Overpass teams in the world. It was just dirty to watch that. So, I mean, it's such a tall task for OpTic, especially starting on that CT side. On Inferno, they had like one good buy. In that entire, like one really, really solid buy where they weren't like light on any kind of weaponry. They had all the nades they needed, and that came at like 15-10. So it's just Luminosity doing such a good job in their T-sides of controlling the economy of OpTic.
So, fact being that Luminosity will start out on the T side here, so hopefully for OpTic Gaming they do make some sort of bank throughout this. They start off doing well here. I want to see something big from these guys as we are underway. And Dap's going to go out for the information play, try and peek towards Fountain. Actually, the best part being, Luminosity are actually going to play towards that. They're just offsetting the timing and sitting pretty far back at this point.
A little bit of damage done onto Rush, going for some kind of a peek out towards Long B. He gets forced away. Now, if OpTic watched the match last night and have studied LG on this map, they're going to know at times that Taco is going to be very, very alone over towards the B bomb site. His entire job is just to make sure that, if needed, Luminosity has an avenue to change between the bomb sites, somewhere to fall back where the CTs aren't pushed up towards short sewers, towards Long B. So there will be opportunities for them in the mid-round if they want to get aggressive to try and trade that kill off or just surprise him.
And actually, I love Taco playing those sort of positions. I'm pretty sure he does it on Mirage as well in the B-Apps on the CT side. He can play that kind of like solo role almost, and he does do it very nicely on the T side as well here. But Daps with a stunner to kick things off. All right, FNX just gets ripped to shreds. And Daps wants some more. Why not? He's going to try and catch the timing correctly, but he can't. Taco just overwhelms him, and now they have a good step towards the side. Let's see if Luminosity push off the back of it.
Very low is Mixwell, 1 HP, somehow dodging those bullets. And there's another douche from Fur, but the shots call come out, and Fur thinks he's being flaked out. It's actually towards Bank. These silenced USPs denying so much information. Another headshot, but he can't finish off the kill. Now it's just cold. He's on the truck, he finds one. He's got to be careful behind him. There's a good kill. He's isolated some one-on-ones. Even the remaining member, Naf, is in Bank. So good opportunities here for Cold. Now he knows he's got Naf all on his own.
2 individual 1v1s. 17 seconds, and they need to be careful not to allow him to have 2 clean 1v1s with time for a plant. The bomb is pretty much on the site itself. Naf is backing away. They're all backing away. He gets some more information. He needs to make these quick, and he can't do it. Nafly will find the frag, and there you get it. OpTic do manage to pick up the first round there.
Team Ace.
And yeah, a clean team ace pretty much. Every single player getting 1 kill.
Well done. Way to go, guys. Yeah, that was a sick opening. That was a sick opening.
Really proud of you guys.
You've done so good.
Papa Moses says well done.
I mean, Daps with that opening kill, that's huge. It's a first player pushing up towards the bomb site, and just that slows everything down. That one first kill, the most advanced position, Daps is able to give his teammates time to rotate over. And then from there, it's just really nicely done by OpTic, not overcommitting to some of those fights. Again, though, investment in the second round, and Rush has already been tagged. Fur, he can't connect with that shot. Naf brought very, very low. Cold now with the Deagle. He gets the tag. It seemed like that was through the edge of the stairs. He's forced out because of the smoke.
God.
That's heartbreaking. He can't get that kill, and Daps jumping up is able to seal it finally.
If they had one nade to just throw down there, they'd probably get both kills at that point, or at least... that's got to be so frustrating to do that. So much damage and get nothing for it, but... Still, OpTic Gaming do manage to stay alive. They get 3 players left, very low, but standing nonetheless, and they've got the bomb locked in there. So now Luminosity have to kind of throw themselves in towards this, and FNX finds one of the players who was actually not all that low, falling, takes out Daps, and now they've got you wondering where's Naf, and they take him down too. What the hell just happened?
Fallen happened. Got to be careful. One beneath him, and he's going to get that kill. Almost thought he would have just grabbed that bomb and ran. Either way, though, they've done some decent damage despite a very, very awkward start.
No one's watching this.
Yeah, FNX, this could be huge. Now, the timing, Stan just kind of figures it out in his head. He has that internal clock ticking away, and then he checks behind him. Perfect on that kind of a play, but still, they take 3 deaths, which is very, very hard to swallow if you're a CT side.
Yeah, I mean, considering those were pretty tough as well, some of the players who were picked up initially weren't the ones who were tagged up really, really low. It was actually quite surprising to see. But again, Fallen isn't exactly a slouch when it comes to picking up the scout himself. And, they can do a great deal of damage, but pretty clean clean round coming out for Luminosity, not investing too much. 2 P250s and a flash. And Stan just about missing out on most of the information, but does catch the heels of Stanislaw there. And Naf's going to have a well of a time. Well, in theory, he should have actually get sent back here, and they're really, really low.
He had the same thought that you did. Now he's forced back a little bit depressed that he's able to get dinked like that. So now it's Daps his turn, and he struggles to find the kill. He's going to fall. And LG now, they can pressure this site. Nav can't be aggressive over in Stairwell. He's got a teammate there with him. Mixwell is pushing up and falling. Look at this read.
Oh god, Mixwell suddenly just had that horrible sinking feeling as soon as he saw Fallen Shadow just, well, even just the outline up above him. And now Mixwell can't escape either. They're kind of locked in here, and now Fallen wants to punish this, and he goes in with the Glock and he dances, but he can't get the shot done in the end, and it's Mixwell to stay alive on 10 HP. So Naf is 6 HP, Mixwell is 10. There's a lot of damage to be done here with these 2 P250s and a Glock, even if Fur is 1 HP. The spam comes out through the wall, but it's Mixwell to find Fur. And now these two are going to find this tough to do some damage. And actually, oh, tell me. Just sees the feet.
That's a bummer. I mean, Fallen's got to feel like really, really bad that he had a Glock in that situation. It's like, did you ever play GoldenEye for Nintendo? Like, it's when you have the Klob and you're in some kind of a battle and it just doesn't do any damage whatsoever. You get like the entire 25 bullets off or 30 bullets and it just doesn't work out. Either way, into the first gun round, no Klobs are going to be out here. In fact, Fallen has the AWP, 4 AK-47s behind it.
He's got the golden gun now, let's be honest here. This man went absolutely ham in the last map. It was just ridiculous. So Dap's going to do the smoke down towards Monster. And again, this is what we kind of get to see. As you pointed before, oh, he missed it.
That's awkward.
Oh,
he followed it and everything. Come on now.
No. At least don't let him see the shame. Just hide it from us. But again, this is what we've seen before. Taco being very much a solo kind of beacon towards B, keeping them present, keeping them... Actually, they should have been much more on their toes. He gets a free peek in from short, finds Stanislaw, and that's going to cause Daps now to be far more present, and the rest of Luminosity are all over by A.
I gets a second kill as well. Rush pushing up to try and gain something. Maybe realizing, like I mentioned, that Taco normally is alone there, but what a play from Taco. I mean, he switches this up. He picks and chooses his times to be aggressive, and right now, 4th round, setting the tone. Fallen. See you later, Mixwell. 3 individual battles, 2 for Taco, 1 for Fallen, and there's no rebuttal. Oh, the aim punch without armor. Daps does fall, though. Now, they did keep SMGs into this round, so they're going to have a goodbye going forward. The op is salvaged by Cold. That's a nice start to this half from Luminosity, actually, because of all the damage they sustained in those 2 anti-eco rounds. They're very, very light. Rush can buy whatever he wants, but everyone else is beat up. So
yeah,
Rush,
I'm seeing CZs.
Yeah, Rush is just going to drop pistols over to his teammates because he's got so much money, and they're going to have to save already.
And this was something we actually set out at the start, or at least you did, should I say. The fact that their money wasn't great on Inferno once they got to that CT side, so I'm hoping they can stabilize pretty soon. Obviously, they have to kind of suffer through this one, a little bit of armor to supplement the CZs, but it's not much to work with at this point. Although there is a great deal of angles to be held on this map, you can do some damage. We saw OpTic doing very well with it, even on Inferno, even though they didn't really get much in towards the later parts of that map. They did manage to do a little bit of opening damage, but still, this one's going to be a little bit tough to get through.
Very, very standard from Luminosity. A lot of what we'll see during this half is, like we mentioned, Taco's going to be alone towards B, and it remains the other 4 to kind of figure out. Usually, sometimes it's going to be Fallen and Underpass with 2 to 3 towards Party. At the moment, though, I mean, they don't know that it's just pistols yet. They might have an idea just because they know how much damage they've done, but they haven't spotted this out quite yet. So still waiting for any kind of indication of what they're going up against before committing anyway. There's a Molotov. That's going to force Daps forward. Mixwell gets the kill. Daps has an opportunity here, but he's not going to be able to do it. Had a shot or 2. Cold knocks him down. Yeah,
they have stacked out toilets as well, and now it's being removed piece by piece. But Stanislaw has got himself still in a good position, actually a little bit further ahead from Fur, but I think they've got an idea where one was, and actually Rush wins out the fight towards Fur anyway, so left on his lonesome. Sadly couldn't get the gun. He will be able to get it here if he does make it across. FNX managing to keep hold of that AWP, and you can see Cold, Zera, Taco all heading over towards B. And for Rush, really, not much to be done here at this point. He does get the AK to hand, so salvaging something decent at least after was a little bit of a painful round, but it was going to happen anyway. They did some decent damage here at least.
Luminosity putting all the faith in Cold. Maybe also the fact that knowing that they're going against pistols, more than likely not a kit on the board, but Cold is very much the only person in the B bomb site. They want to take this gun out of Rush's hands, obviously, and it's more than likely going to be up towards Taco. He's pushing through T-spawn. FNX hasn't spotted anything. And now Rush slows down right when he gets to playground. He knows that there could be someone coming behind. It's all going to be timing. Is Taco going to be able to see this? And it comes out. Oh, lordy. That's unfortunate.
That was literally the worst timing I think I've seen, just flat out.
It's heartbreaking.
It was the second he looked away.
He actually swings past him as well.
Oh, that really does suck. But it's how it goes. 3-2 at the moment, OpTic Gaming. Now with a chance to get the AWP out. Now with a chance to be pretty well set in this. Not quite to the caliber of Luminosity yet. There's still no armor with Nav, so just running the glass cannon with a flash. Wondering what he's going to do with this one, see if he's going to take the fight early. It does seem as though he's playing up towards long, but not going to push out too far. Not going to take any opening fights, too aggressively at this point. You can see how far back Luminosity are playing this, all the way back, slowly working their way in towards long.
Pop flash from Nav to take that to peak, and actually now he sees the nade swing. He might not want to go back for this. He's got to be a little bit careful how he plays this, because Luminosity's already out. Fallen's got the angle. Nav's just, he's not going to peek. He's going to hold an off angle. Hope that someone swings pretty wide on him, and he might get the opportunity. Although Mixwell is going to be the next one up, and he's looking away from the flash. Turns her out the perfect moment. Cold finds him, and there's the peek from Nav to try and recover from it. It's not going to work. So well done from LG, using the AWP of Fallen to cover his teammates. Now even Daps. I mean, they can sense it. They know the play is coming. They know the next step is either aggression or information to be gathered by OpTic, and the Molotov forces Daps away. But first, it's still not cleared out. So first, in a little bit of a dangerous position.
That 1-2 punch between coldzera and Fallen was just perfect, and actually Fer did look towards toilets initially. I was like, maybe there's someone here, but he's being so hesitant and so cautious. Daps hasn't yet made a move, so kind of playing that dangerous game. Who steps out first, who makes a sound, who rotates, who pulls into which way, and while this happens, the rest of Luminosity have turned their attention towards B now. Yeah,
and because Daps hasn't heard or seen anything, that's why they have 2 members over at this B bomb site still. There's still 25 seconds. We saw in Inferno, Luminosity very willing to run this clock down, but there's only 3 players at the B bomb site. If this gets stopped, there's no time for the other 2 to recover. FNX is coming over now to come up catwalk. First still over towards A. That'll be a flank, but him and Daps have passed by each other. Might not even matter, because Taco's going to hit that shot on the stand. They think it's the only one. 10 seconds left. Can Rush stop it? Can he do enough? No.
The molly failed. He was still able to hold from the barrels, but in the end, he just doesn't quite land the shot as cleanly as he needed and gets punished instantly. So 5 players alive now for Luminosity. And Daps, well, his position was pretty sick, actually. It did allow them to get a great deal of information as to where they're on B, where they weren't, basically, at that point. So, again, good positioning, but kind of left useless at this point. And this is the first time we saw that real big buy coming in, or at least a good buy, should I say. And, well, it didn't get to do too much, sadly. Hopefully Daps can keep this one to hand, but I'm pretty sure Fer is going to check this. Daps doesn't hit the shot. He had one chance to live through that, but not going to make it. And that is the AWP gone for now. And the money, as you can see, again, so worked down here for OpTic Gaming, sadly. It is all 3-3 now. The first rounds did go back-to-back for OpTic. Some great stuff coming out from them, in those pistols, but sadly not quite making it in towards the gun rounds.
This is where it becomes a struggle to be able to read Luminosity, to have 2 players at the point of contact, to be very coordinated on this CT side for what Luminosity is going to throw at you. Because, like we said, world beaters on this map, they have so many different looks in their playbook. They have such good knowledge of the different things they can do, and Taco's going to be the one under pressure. 4 members for OpTic over at this B bomb site. They've pushed into short sewers. Taco's got range on this, though. He's got eyes, and that nade, they're not going to push forward, but it actually does good damage on the stands. Down to 71.
I do like the read into this. As, it's not uncommon or unknown that Taco does solo out here, but they do try and make the most of it. They actually do manage to take him down, so that's a really nice bit of a play coming out from OpTic. They can't recover that rifle yet. If they did, actually, Fallen wasn't too far behind. So now Mixwell going to try and flex throughout the rest of the map, but he's going to get pinched in by Fer. So him and FNX do manage to get some map control here now, just leaving the 2 alive, as in Daps and Nefly. So a little bit tricky to do any more damages. I don't really see Luminosity walking into this unless they get a little bit, I guess, hap-handed and just go towards B. Of course they don't.
Well, I mean, they still don't have to commit anywhere. I mean, there's a nice shot from Daps to at least find Cold, now falling under a little bit of pressure, but he's got his teammates streaming outdoor to deal with that kind of an issue. 4 straight now for Luminosity. Losing bonus almost fully built up. Either way, it's going to give OpTic a good buy into this round. Don't think we'll see an AWP. It would be glass cannon from Nav, so he's going to go drop down to the rifle, try and have some extra utility with which they can make some plays.
They need to start doing something, sadly. It feels that Luminosity are definitely controlling the pace at the moment, keeping the reins firmly in their hands, and sadly for OpTic, they're just kind of sitting there and, well, not much other way to say it than just taking it at this point. But yeah, we'll see. See how this goes. You okay there, Moses?
Perfect. I am wonderful.
That's what I
all
like to hear.
5 members of Luminosity over towards this B bomb site. They're going to switch things up, not spreading out in this default. OpTic has players in bathrooms, Daps and Naf, and Mixwell as well, but they're not seeing anything. And here comes Fur. They have 2 members to the right by Monster. Not cleared out quite yet. There's Stanislav, but then FNX wipes him out. So does Cold. And well, what can you say about that one?
Again, just such a sick hit coming out from Luminosity, just breaking in towards the side pretty much at this point, but the retake is certainly possible. Looking at the players left standing, there's a good bit of damage towards FNX, but Fallen in such a good position if he can just back himself away a little bit considering where those OpTic gamers are. But actually no, Fallen doesn't quite get the shot he needs to, but there's the short flex coming out from Coldzera. He finds one, trades out for Daps, but now left in a 1v2. This situation is looking more and more dire. Clock is ticking. Oh god, Daps.
That's 2 smokes.
He fails the smoke towards Monster, then does that. Just walk away, Daps. Just walk away.
You have to at that point. I mean, even dropping that smoke, and then you have to run through it, so it's a very dire situation. So 5-3, Luminosity looking unstoppable on these gun rounds so far.
I almost wish I could just see the chat saying NA smoke. You know what I mean? Just to really, really rub it in. But, oh, I'd love to see an OpTic style montage of Daps and his missed smokes. If anyone's creative, please get some lens flare on that, and I would be really happy.
All 2 of them that we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's enough.
It'd be a long video.
Real slow-mos coming in. I want every angle achieved. But yeah, 5-3 at the moment. Again, OpTic. What is... Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Daps did stay alive. I was just like, you know, so thought... Oh god, no, it's Stanis' time.
He's got it.
I believe in Stanislaw, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, he does. Alright, we're good now. But yeah, a bit of a shoddy buy. Again, the money is... It's such a rinse and repeat story with these guys. Sadly, they've been broken down the money, but they're still doing so much damage with the pistols. They've kept this game pretty close. Even in the previous map, they did this sort of stuff. And Naf like, oh, Mixwell, hello. Welcome back. We've got a little bit of work coming in. Coldzera doesn't get the shot, and now we've got a bit of information play. This could be pretty decent.
The bomb's down there as well, so Cold's actually in a pretty awkward spot. And yeah, Mixwell continuing his tear. The 1 dig and now a 1 with the ult. Taco and Cold going to be the last 2 left. They know exactly where Cold is. And Cold isn't sure. He doesn't realize that Naf has actually fallen back, gotten a little bit more passive. He's coming back to be aggressive, but he realizes that Naf could be everywhere after winning that initial fight. And Cold's got to try and fall back to get this bomb. All the meanwhile, dodging bullets everywhere. And they've got a great angle on its entrance. Last one left.
And to be fair, the impressive part being that really OpTic, considering what they've had to work with, have certainly done a fair bit of damage every single time they've been in this position. If they hadn't, it would have been as close on Inferno, I guess. But
yeah, but once again, I mean, this is the one thing. It's not a strategic win, right?
No,
it's
God
just,
no.
It's just Naf pushing up long, winning his one-on-one, and then Mixwell with a ridiculous deagle shot, winning his battle, and then the second one. So I mean, it's just a series of individual battles that are won. You can't really take that into the gun rounds whatsoever.
No.
So it's a nice find here to get their 4th, and it gives them some free guns. They don't have to spend money on. Perhaps if they lose this, it gives them a second round they can buy to try and keep some kind of momentum, some kind of hold in this match. But they still haven't figured anything out.
And to be fair, we didn't see timeout either, did we, on Inferno? I'm trying to think back to it. I don't think we did. So again, this is something OpTic could look at if they feel the need to. But 4-5, it's not a bad scoreline. It's just the way you've seen these rounds going. It's the gun rounds that have been missing, and that's the biggest issue. So see if Mixwell can make a difference with that off. Not going to get a chance as Fallen, Coldzera, and FNX are behind that wall, so he wouldn't be able to see them if they did walk past Fountain. And already that play that's been coming out on long has been just so proficient so far. But Taco, did you find him through smoke? Yeah.
That's through smoke.
God.
That's a bummer. Nothing going right for OpTic.
No.
And Mixwell's about to get smoked off. He's forced out towards long. It looks like it's going to be, could be pressured by Luminosity. FNX, Fallen, and Cold all over by Party, by Playground. Flashes over, blinds Mixwell completely. Fallen gets out to take an angle.
And last time they dismantled this long hold piece by piece, it was actually beautiful to watch. If they do it again, I will be so impressed. Mixwell this time holding a very dedicated angle. Naf not too far off either. There we go. Takes the swing out there, finds FNX. They know that there's more coming, so now Naf needs to be the one to chime in with a little something here, but he's playing it pretty passively, and now he's kind of just baited out. Mixwell say, hey, buddy, deal with it yourself, and he does just perfectly. The deagle comes out in time. Coldzera gets picked up, and hopefully they can find the remainders, as there's still Fallen, Fur, and Taco on this map.
We mentioned OpTic hadn't figured anything out. Well, that time it's the exact same tactic Luminosity used on the first gun round to eliminate that kind of a stack with an AWP and a rifle at long. But now Mixwell just completely unaware that he can be cut off as he falls back. So there's a slight mistake. He doesn't fall, luckily, but he takes a lot of damage. And still, going back to that first battle that Taco won, he's got the retreat. He's got option B. You know, he's kept this wide open for Luminosity. As you can see, they've streamed downstairs. They're already at this B bomb site because he knows he has everything cleared out. Now he's got to win that. He can't do it. And it was a little bit early. That's going to give the indication they're coming this way.
Yeah, and the Molly's been relatively failing quite some time towards exactly where Rush is, so he's had to adapt this time. Sends back fur. Clock has run out. Time is done. And oh, Daps, get your gun out, man. Don't add to this montage. Rush will at least deal with it. Takes out Fallen. 5-5. And okay, let's break that round down, because that's the first real gun round, I guess, that they've actually picked up properly without being on pistols or making those individual plays. And you said it at the start there that Luminosity just did the same thing pretty much that won them the first gun.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit different setup from OpTic this time. The rifle was out towards the flower pots, and the op was in bathrooms on Mixwell. But, you know, he sees the shoulder of fall, and he sees it doesn't not commit, and then he peeks wide to get the players close up. That's what they're trying to do, walk two players close up and pop flash in bathrooms. Mixwell just does a really stunning job with the op and then that deagle combo. But that's the first time that OpTic has won the initial battle in these rounds. And also, it helps them control bathrooms as CT. This round, look how passive they're forced. There's so much room to work with for Luminosity, so a big advantage early on with already, you know, just a very little time left or used on the clock.
They still have 4 smokes left, 1 molly, 1 nade, a good couple of flashes as well. This is the worrying part. They still have so much to build from if they need to go to that. So for Luminosity, they're still in a great position. There could be maybe a resurge here from OpTic maybe later into the game if they want to take a bit of a dangerous fight, but I doubt that's going to happen, as Naf and Daps could be playing a bit of a tricky edge at this point. They need to be careful. Nafly could be easily cut off from the others here, but depending on Daps to hold his back, and on long you do have Mixwell again on a bit of a different angle, waiting for that little peek above the flower beds. And I wonder, will anyone go for it? He does see the smoke come out from there, so he knows at least one player was by long. And I wonder how that information will trickle through that OpTic lineup and how they respond to it.
Smoke, I mean, the worrying thing for OpTic is that smoke, that's a nice nade on a Mixwell. That smoke could be used to allow Fur to get up close, and actually, I mean, Mixwell's blinded, he recovers very nicely. That's a sick shot. But he did allow his teammate to fall. Now he's pushed out towards long, and there's no one here. Fur is rotated over with just that Tech 9. But Mixwell, 4 HP.
This is a ballsy move as well. Look at Daps. He's already starting to rotate. They have a good idea what's coming their way. And they've read the play well here. Luminosity are going to be heading towards B, but Rush and Stanislaw are still alive. They're still dedicated toward this side. They did not rotate, and look at the time. 8 seconds left. This comes down to the wire. The bomb plant is coming in, and Fallen's defending like an absolute hero. Takes out Stanislaw, leaves Rush very much alone here until maybe the cavalry arrive, but Coldzera is already on the hunt on the way as well. Right next to Daps at the moment, and this is going to be so hard to make any play towards.
Yeah, there's the dagger, right? Cold coming in from behind. He was in a flank position, and he's able to make sure that retake never comes to fruition whatsoever. Fallen has dropped, and they're not retreating that route to save the AWP. So that's one thing they might have to rebuy in the future. But a really nice adjustment by Luminosity.
Mixwell individually has been having a pretty good game, to be fair. Yeah, actually, I didn't even realize on the scoreboard, but in the last couple of rounds with the AWP, it's more the impact he's been able to achieve with that AWP has been the impressive factor, causing Luminosity to rotate then. Of course, Taco having so much presence towards the B side of things also assists towards that. But again, 5-6 now.
Yeah, and one of the things that actually talking to OpTic after their win over Astralis, it was actually it was pretty interesting. I was like, so what exactly went right for you? And essentially, what they said was, this is a little bit weird because we've seen Mixwell opping so often online, is that actually they switched the op over to Nafly instead. So it is pretty cool to see Mixwell back on it.
Yeah. And well, here's another chance to have a great view of it. Mixwell kicks this round off with a bang, destroying Fur on the way through. And now starting this round exactly how you want to do it. Just getting that first pick. Again, this is something that worked for them in the one gun round that really picked up in some style, is getting that opening pick into their favor, or at least the first frag towards their side.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, this is now, Mixwell with the AWP has given them a couple opportunities early on in these rounds with these picks to play with an advantage, whereas before that, in the big streak by Luminosity after the pistol wins, for 5 rounds straight, Luminosity basically had control of the map from start to finish of these rounds. So Mixwell reversing that a little bit, and they're forcing Luminosity to come up with some things on the fly. This time there's no presence over towards the A bomb site, no presence towards bathrooms, none towards long. So Luminosity is basically committed here. That pop flash is just so perfect, but how do they not capitalize on it? Seems like they were just a little bit scared to swing wide.
Stanislaw has been punished through smoke a couple of times. I'll give him that, but still.
He's like, no,
not again. I don't want to. But yeah, so this is down to Rush and Stanislaw. To be fair, Mixwell's adaptation, a bit of aggression on the CT side, really paid out early. Now they need to stick with it. And look how close Luminosity have been allowed to get. Fallen is desperate to find a pixel out of place, and you can hear the shots coming in from the right side. He doesn't land the shot, that gives Rush the chance. There's the follow-up, sprays down, catches out Cold Zera, and it's down to a 4v2. Taco and FNX left, and the rotate does get found. That's FNX taking down Dap, so we're back to a 2v3. This suddenly becomes a little more possible, but Taco on the AWP here.
Yeah, what are we going to see out of it? Another smoke comes down. Molotov to maybe protect the run-up so he can get the bomb planted. He is going to plant in the smoke, but it's not going to happen. Stan finds that. Nice shot through smoke. FNX goes for something, but he can't connect the spray, so 6-6. In the economy of Luminosity, it's finally very, very low. They could buy here. They could do a Tech 9 force-up if they wanted to. I mean, Taco and Cold can get the AK-47s. It will be interesting to see what they decide to go through because it's only been one round win here for OpTic. But they are going to play a little bit not passively whatsoever. So everyone's going to buy up.
Your English is great.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
You just got to keep you on your toes.
Well, it looks like Luminosity are about to keep us on our toes as well. Going for the 1 rifle on Taco, of course, and then the 4. Well, I was going to say 4 Tech 9s, but there is a CZ in there as well, just for FNX. So let's see what hit they make with this. It looks like it's a set piece towards B, 3-2 split. And again, Stanislaw could just get mowed down. He's playing right down by Water. He's going to actually play on the edge of that smoke. It's down to Rush to deal with the rest of the players pushing through, and he's done it so well, dancing around the side itself. But actually, they get mowed down in the end, just as those Tech 9s start to come in. And Taco with that AK does do the damage. First pushed up quite close, so he's going to be the first point of contact. And now it's down to the retake of the CT side.
Oh, Fallen brought so low during that plant. Taco does salvage an AK-47, but it's all on for critical position to hold. That pop flash actually gets him. It came in from OpTic just as his teams came in. That's a little bit unfortunate on the timing, and now OpTic, they have such a strong stance for this retake. 3-on-1, and there's the smoke to extinguish the Molotov. Taco's got to go for the sprinter. He gets it. Still alive. How does he play this? The smoke has faded now, so actually that works against Taco. He has to kill Daps. He has to get aggressive here, and Daps is going to clean him out. Nice headshot. Luminosity, they do the damage, but they can't win out the round. A little bit unfortunate, but now even with that bomb plant, this looks like this round's going to have to be much more conservative in terms of their buy.
Yeah.
And this is where teams, after I say that, normally go for the buyout.
We'll see.
Yep. Why not?
Why not?
Half investment. No armor on these pistols. Scout, though. I mean, they do have a losing bonus building up of 2 rounds, and so they just buy out enough to where that last round of the half, they're going to have enough to get some AK-47s, maybe 1 player on a Tech 9, or maybe 1 player lacking utility.
Ooh, hello.
Dirty.
Well, we did talk about the dirty things they did to Na'Vi before. Oh god, if you'd hit that.
That's a drop the mic, but that's
yeah,
a drop the mic moment. You're just like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Well, at least they have information now as well. They know that maybe there's a player additional over towards B. How are they going to approach that? Are they going to work off the back of it? Let's see how they approach it now, because Fallen has been working out so much info. He spotted out another doing the jump as well. These small bits of information is just setting up the guys with the Tech 9s to be able to rush in and at least know the angle, know the positions, maybe. A little bit of a dunk nade up and over, not going to find a thing. Again, Luminosity not being giving or not taking so much map control at this point. And Fallen. God, this guy, he's just working every single angle he can here.
It's been so close a couple times. The really unfortunate part for it is like that first jump is used to get the information to see where they're at, to go for the actual shot, and it's just been spotted out that second time. Much a bummer, and Rush has been really strong on this position. He's also got Stan's out with the crossfire, but he does fall after only 1, and Stan is there to pick up the slack. 2 kills for him before he drops, and Daps here to end things. So 8-6, OpTic, it looked really sketchy early on, but they have been able to win 5 of the last 6 rounds to get up towards 8.
Considering the opponents, this scoreline doesn't upset me at all. I'm actually really impressed again by OpTic. I hate to say that the fact of the matter is that Luminosity are, world champions. They are the team to beat right now, if you want to look at it that way. They are one of the best. And for OpTic to come in and do this is still impressive, and it may seem slightly condescending to say that about OpTic, but this is a very strong map for Luminosity. So again, it's impressive to see OpTic recovering after it was a very bad opening couple of gun rounds. Back into this, Mixwell's gone aggressive again, and he's done some good work, but Neff can't hold his own, sadly. He gets overrun by Fallen, and Mixwell, well, he was on the retreat, goes back for more, and gets punished in the end, and Fallen finding 2.
Yeah, that's Mixwell just not... Alright, Rush is joining the party here of the wet noodle grenades. Daps now. Yeah. She's out of it. Rush does find 1 kill despite the flashbang. The bomb is going to get picked up here. It's down to a 3-on-2. First got sick positioning, but he's going to give it up. So this is going to get some space to Daps, and the timing on this could just be perfect. Yeah, Fleur isn't paying attention whatsoever. That's a little bit curious. So down to a 2-on-2, and also there's a flank coming in. Taco seems to be aware of it. Now that they have to run, he could hear this, but he might just be too far away. Cold is in a lot of danger from behind. Stan is going to get this kill for basically free. Down into a 1-on-2. He had a Molotov as well for the bomb, but it's no longer there. There's a smoke on Stan. Yeah. Taco, this is a tough spot for him to be in. There's an opportunity here.
Yeah, there's a huge chance, and that smoke's at least going to be in the right place. Now Taco needs to go big, and he takes out one, but he can't find the diffuser. Daps gets it in the end, just holding it down after what was a questionable round from start to finish. There, they do make it count towards the end. So scoreline-wise, we have a competitive game on our hands at least. Because at the start of it, I felt, you know, after that, let's say, well, the pistol that went down, as soon as those gun rounds came in, you saw Luminosity starting to really stretch ahead. That was when you start seeing the, you know, the prowess these guys can bring. And then OpTic did have a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah. Well, and the weird thing too is you look at that last round. You almost want to say Luminosity gets the benefit of the doubt in the sense that you know, when these post plants, you're going to focus on them being the world's champion. It almost seems like they're making some mistakes. But OpTic has been so good in the post plants consistently over 2 maps now, so that's one of the big strengths that they've been able to come back. Definitely on Overpass here, but at least they're being patient on these retakes, allowing time for Luminosity to make those mistakes. It's just a little uncharacteristic. So that will be the first half, and when we come back, we will end things.
So, welcome back to what actually has turned out to be a bit more of an interesting game than I think a lot of us predicted initially looking at this matchup, especially coming to the match we had with Inferno to start with. It ended up being Luminosity's game in the end, but had a good half coming out for OpTic Gaming. However, again, we're in that same predicament to a degree. OpTic Gaming having a respectable half scoreline there, 9-6, but this is still Luminosity and it's still Overpass, so this one is certainly not done just yet.
Yeah, this is another test now for OpTic because they kind of passed that first one. You have to say, despite the fact that they went on that like 4 or 5 round losing streak in a row, they recovered from that very nicely. So that was good. Now on the CT side, this is where that double op setup can come out from Fallen and Cold, and even if it doesn't too, Fallen, he's so good on this map, and he's so very mobile with his AWP, and that's the thing. He can kind of control the map, because you never know if he's going to be towards long. You never know if he's going to push Fountain, push Party, he's going to be in bathrooms. There's so many different ways that he can have an impact on this, and FNX has all the information. He sees 3 in Underpass. Now he's got to get away. He's going to stick around for one fight, grabs a headshot, actually gets stuck. Can't retreat any longer, but thankfully Fur recovers onto Stanislav.
But they can make a mad dash towards the site and assume, off the back of the information what they've gathered, they might be able to get a possible plant in, assuming they can isolate Fur away. Let's see if they can do that. And there we go. Already Rush is going to be looking for that fight initially, trying to get the bomb towards the side itself. Rush is going to need to land that, and he whiffs it sadly, and there you go. That means that now the bomb can be pressured. It means that suddenly that side is not safe, and these 4 remaining players for Luminosity can just close in.
They've got to be aggressive, but Daps actually gets blinded by his own flash, but Naf gets the kill anyways. Now the B bomb site is completely open.
What is this?
Has turned this around. I mean, they don't exactly have an advantage. You look at the HP of Naf. But, I mean, what a clever play, and there's Fallen. He gets there just in time. Who else would it be with a sick read?
Great intuition from Fallen to get there so quickly, but Daps is fighting the good fight, and he gets at least Fallen down, but 50 seconds to hit 2 shots. Or get a bomb plant of some miracle, maybe run back towards A with it. And he already gets spotted out by Furt. And coldzera just playing very calm, just holding the angle, not giving away where his position is. And 30 seconds is going to feel like a lifetime to Daps. At this point, desperate for an opportunity.
You gotta feel bad for him. You can see him like trying to catch out that second player, at least find out the location of it, and not ever noticing that he's on catwalk, obviously, because it's well played from Cole to just hide and wait. Let his teammate take all the action. So pistol round now for Luminosity. So both CT teams winning their pistol rounds early on, and actually, and even without the plant, I guess, because with the plant they'd go for the third round buy, but now they're going to invest into the Tech 9s, the Deagle on NAF. Seen it do some damage. But Rush has a smoke and Daps has a flashbang as well, and they're spreading out. They're not really, sticking together. 3 members are going to be in that underpass, trying to work up those stairwells eventually. But at the moment, Luminosity is playing this very passive.
Yeah, not a singular rifle either for them. All SMGs and a scout for Fallen, so looking to make as much money as they can going forward in this. If they can get that start that they had, or the end result they had on Inferno here, by keeping OpTic's money pretty dire, it'd be absolutely brilliant for them. You can see that slow build, working their way through underpass, getting themselves throughout the map here. Daps kind of taking on, I guess, Taco's role at this point, playing out towards B, but there's the info, and you can hear the shots coming off the back, smoke towards short, and now the T side left to kind of deal with it. But look at the bomb site. There's actually no one playing close. They're all sitting so far back, almost playing for the retake, it looks like, at this point. But I wonder if they're even going to be able to make it across.
I mean, especially with Taco being so damaged, play passively, he can't really commit to anything. So they're just saying, you can have the plant if you guys want to take this bomb site, but we're going to win the retake. We want to do enough damage. Tough part for Luminosity, though, is that they're starting to dwindle in terms of their nades. They have no smokes. They have a Molotov, 2 HEs that can do some damage. But still, it's Fur and Taco at this B bomb site. With Taco so low, he has to be passive. Cold is actually here as well. Just come over.
Alright, Fur can play this really well. He can do a great deal of damage, or he can get overrun. He gets 1, and that's about it. So actually, OpTic is going to take the side here, and that's the big kill. NAF taking down coldzera means this one's pretty much open for the plant. No one can really challenge, and there you go. Bomb planted, guns recovered. Fallen takes damage from
FNX.
FNX, okay, that's maybe just encouragement, just a pat on the back with a bullet. And yeah, this retake has suddenly got incredibly hard, considering there's no kit towards FNX or Fallen. They just have to do this quickly if they actually want to go for it now.
Yeah, I mean, trying to bait out one player in the pool, though, Mixwell plays it perfectly. They're going to get their 10th, so they respond. Fallen at least keeps the scout into the next round. We've seen how much damage he can do with this weapon. But a nice response for OpTic. They do that early damage, and that was the thing. Luminosity kind of had to give up that bomb site. They just said, we'll win the retake, but not as much damage is done on the entrance from Luminosity. OpTic trades out so effectively and eventually comes out on top of things. So really impressive now.
I was really hoping Fur could do a little bit more then. It's kind of tough when no one pushes out Monster and they'll kind of come through short towards you, but still, when you have those SMGs at that sort of range, the MP9's pretty nuts, to be fair, so to not see it kind of do a little bit more was a little surprising. But looking at the money now, it's pretty well set on the side of the T side into this round. They've got the 2 SMGs, so the UMP coming up for Stanislaw. They've got the SMG as well, Daps, so he can kind of get up close and personal, hopefully do a lot of damage. And on the other side, a pretty much a clean eco, barring Fur, of course, going in for the P250, and that saved Scout still with Fallen.
He's going to be the one who has to have impact. And unfortunately, no one from OpTic is even heading his way. He's looking up towards Fountain. He's looking up towards Party and Playground, but there's nobody there. They've all evacuated that. So 3 towards B for OpTic. They've given up any presence at the A bomb site. Daps and Sandals are going to be towards Underpass. They're working for it. It's Fur who's going to be the first man in contact with them. He's got a P250. Daps working his way up. That's going to be an easy kill from there. Can he get the second? No. He has done decent damage, down to 54 HP, but still no read out of Luminosity. No rotation over towards this B bomb site. Still just Taco, very isolated.
Yeah, and he's pretty much just sat on the back of the site. Peeking up and over, occasionally towards a push out from Monster, and I think he's going to see the molly come up, so he knows at least there's one player here. A quick flash off the back. He's going to hear everything, and no one's checked for him yet. He's... Okay, there we go. Rush finds him in the end.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Fallen with the scout, trying to land at least one shot, maybe a unfortunate headshot, but he's just going to fall back for this. Knows it's a losing cause, so saving that scout for one more round with the armor as well. And he would be more than willing to save this. If it's just this kind of a situation, he's more than willing to save this into whenever they have their first gun round. He will use this scout as they buy rifles behind him, and that very well could be next round. Actually, no. He'll probably save one more, but there's a good find from Fallen. Stan as well onto FNX. We're at 11-7 now, so OpTic with an opportunity to grab a pretty solid lead here.
Again, though, the gun rounds will always be weighing in the back of their minds. They know that once that money's sat with Luminosity, that double AWP threat that can come out. But this is still really good building blocks towards making this a very, very interesting game here. They're keeping their money pretty decent. They still have that UMP to go through. But what buy do we see coming out? And yeah, they have stuck with the scouts, so they're going to go around it.
Yep, they're right on the edge of this kind of a buy. Cold going for the FAMAS just so we can get some more nades. There's a kit onto FNX. That was dropped over to him by Fallen, I believe. So, I mean, this buy actually might dictate who's gonna, or if Luminosity is gonna be able to come back in this, or if OpTic are just gonna run away with it.
Look at this rush. Are they gonna keep going at this pace? They are. And okay, the nades have come out. The molly comes in towards coldzera. He stays alive though, and Taco's been watching the push up as well. So this is gonna be interesting. If OpTic actually commit off the back of this, the information's been gathered. There's a great deal of damage coming towards him already, and Taco is waiting so patiently for this. You can see the play up short coming in from Daps as well, and the flash comes out. coldzera is still staying alive, but there we go. Rush. Oh please! Oh my God! He's not been checked into.
That's so unfortunate. The FAMAS, if that's an M4, he gets
that could have
both
been
kills.
everything.
Yeah, and I don't think Luminosity can go for this retake now. I think they have to look at the positioning. Stuck in the door still. Fur's on this road or this flank, but I don't think much is going to come from this. He's not going to find anything easy, and Mixwell sees the barrel of it. That's going to be tricky though, and he's not going to be able to manage it. Recovery by Fur, but yeah, they're forced away from the retake.
Oh, this game. This round. I'm just going to go for this round at this point.
That's crushing with the FAMAS.
It really is.
That's a sick flick over, though, from Fallen. Still doing work at the scout.
Oh.
So they're going to have 3 rifles. They'll have another buy, and even one dying to the bomb. Frustrated, are you?
You seem a veteran at this feeling.
One more drop for FNX. He's going to drop an M4 over. He'll be able to buy one up. So they are going to have 3 M4s, plus that scout. And a FAMAS on cold. They do have more utility, though, as the losing bonus builds up. 3 rounds now, 3 straight plants for OpTic. With Luminosity, I mean, they can't afford too many of these rounds. They have to get onto the board.
They really do start to need to get a little bit of something going, but is this going to happen again? Okay, they are going. Stanislaw is now isolated, though, and there you go. There's the flash, there's a spray down, and there are the kills finally coming for coldzera, making up for what was incredibly disappointing last round. I can imagine for him. And does get to upgrade to the AK. So a very quick shutout here for OpTic.
The hard part about this now, too, is this is actually much more devastating than it looks, which seems crazy to say because all 5 members of LG are up, and there's 5 players with 100 HP. So no damage has been dealt, and it's still more crushing than it seems just by looking at the UI, is because, I mean, OpTic's had the money.
Get wrecked.
Why not? OpTic's had the money of Luminosity so low throughout this, and with everyone surviving on the Luminosity side, now they've built some up. And so, I mean, it's not going to be an immediate reset, so it's that tall task of now being able to string these rounds together, like more full buy rounds together. 6 sequence there from Taco and Cold.
Yeah, really, really well done. Can't really get away with that. OpTic, they did do it once, and I guess the CS gods worked in favor towards them. That time, not so much in FNX. Going to be able to hear these guys coming, even if they are walking in the grass, which is not quite as loud. There should be a bit of a mow down. Fur does do wonderful amounts of damage, and it'll be FNX to close down with 3. So, seemingly just wanted to get that one over and done with OpTic. Just kind of working the way in towards the meat grinder there. But we are going to see the AWP coming out for Fallen finally. And on the other side, again, oh, okay. A rifle for Mixwell. Tech 9s. They're going in for it.
That's a very curious buy. They have the money to go for more. Okay. So, Op onto Fallen. Now they have to connect with that as well. And it almost, this is a really weird T-side. Look how, I mean, this has been a multiple fast plays towards, oh, they're not going to expect Cold to have rushed this at all. But that flashbang, Daps can't recover in time. Cold catches him off guard. The Molotov as well towards short. That's why Cold was so confident pushing through. And look at the plays. Single-handedly decimates this attack.
OpTic Gaming are left in ruins after that. They're down to 2 players, Mixwell and Stanislaw, and they can try and recover as best they can, but that's going to be hanging in the back of their minds for a couple of rounds coming, how quickly he just took them down piece by piece. So those guns are certainly not up for grabs anywhere near either, so Mixwell and Stanislaw just getting flash after flash here.
If that Molotov isn't in short sewers for Cold, his own team's Molotov isn't there, then he essentially, maybe that's a one-for-one trade, but he falls at some point there. But he might, I mean, if that's not the tactic as well, he probably doesn't run through that Molotov, but because it's there, he either has a one-on-one isolated like we just saw, or no one gets through and he has control. It's a pretty sick play to run through the fire like that as Cold, and now he's got good positioning. He's got Fallen to bail him out as well, and he's even got one member at the top of the danger stairs ready to turn around and support.
As soon as Fallen sees, okay, Cold Zera got picked up at the same time. That's a big difference. Now these two have got a really good chance. This was a 2v4. You shouldn't be losing these Luminosity. It's down to a 2v2. This is getting dangerous. They've got an AWP in hand. Taco's position's been noted. They take the fight. They get another win. This is down to 20 seconds, but they've got the bomb down. This is sick stuff from the two remaining players. And now FNX has to somehow be scratching head going, how the hell did we lose this? Because OpTic just worked out that 2v4. Mixwell got all 4 of them, bearing in mind. And my god, that was absolutely beautiful to watch. You should not be able to win those, but they made that work against the odds.
Yeah, Cold's got to be like, come on, what do I have to do? Running through fire and everything. I mean, that's a beautiful sequence, but it's the shot from Mixwell into Fallen who has that angle. I mean, that setup from him and Cold later on in the round was, it seems so perfect. Fallen takes the first shot, gets it, or they have their attention on him, and then Cold swings out. Even with low HP, should have a pretty easy kill to at least get one. And neither of them work out. So nice recovery from OpTic. Big round from Mixwell. 13-9, and all of a sudden, once again, they're about to, they could string these together, and then that would break the money of LG. They'd probably still buy anyways, but there'd be so many players on low. I mean, there's Taco's at 0, Cold and Fallen at 200 each. This is a really big test for Luminosity.
What an opportunity for OpTic as well, but sadly that flash, that molly didn't push Fallen out. He still had time to operate. Catching Rush, just pushing up a little too close, but FNX as well, just behind enemy lines almost at this point. Mixwell might be caught out by this, and vice versa. Let's see who works each other out first. I think Fallen still has an idea someone could have pushed up. And FNX, oh, he managed to put out the bomb as well, but there's still Mixwell here, and he was the integral one from last round. He was allowed room to work, and they don't want to do that again.
The bummer from that is they thought because Mixwell was there that it was going to be all clear, and FNX makes a huge play, and there's some spam from Fur. I believe that was through the smoke.
Yeah.
Oh no, it seems there's a little bit of a gap in it, so maybe a mistake out of the OpTic side. But mistake from Taco. Stan's already got to the other side, so he's going to get some free shots. He forces Taco back in a more defensive position. Thankfully, Fallen's here. The backup has arrived. Prevents that plant from coming in. Getting up close, Stan can find nothing. 13-10, Luminosity respond.
A little bit of work coming back in, and money-wise again, looking at OpTic, they got a really mixed economy here. You got Naf doing pretty well for himself on that. Stan as well going to be investing into this. Okay, so we really mixed bag, but all going in. Tech9's coming out. Just a Glock for Daps. Okay, and then the AWP coming out from their fly. So yeah, a really mixed bag of weapons here.
I mean, that's just Daps saying, I'll drop, I think he dropped the AWP or the AK, but he's dropping a gun over and he's just saying, do what you can with it. Giving them the best possible buy, giving them as much utility and as much armor as they could need. But again, OpTic really doesn't seem to have any, I mean, this is kind of the impressive part of this T side because they put up a number of rounds. They don't, I mean, they put up four rounds so far. And actually, I mean, this might be a little bit more telling because they've only won one actual gun round. The 3 they won earlier was the second round they won, and then the 2 ensuing anti-ecos. And 1 gun round, but they don't seem to have a plan towards that A bomb site. Everything has been centered around B. I mean, this round they're not even going towards Fountain whatsoever, so no map control that way. Heading up towards the danger stairs. This has been spotted out by Fur, though, so LG has the knowledge.
And again, they have only seen, or heard, should I say, the fact that Daps has a P250. Not seen much more than that. So this could be quite a nice play coming through here, but again, no commitment elsewhere. This is a very slow start here for OpTic, just playing this one down to the wire. Double AWP though coming out for Luminosity, so Cold Zera now having that to hand, joining Fallen. Not ideal flash, I don't think, for that one. No, goes back in for it. Getting cautious, I think he's starting to maybe feel the pressure over towards A, but actually no one coming from it. And first, got himself over there quite early on as well, but the bomb is going to be corralling itself back round towards B, where you've got Cold Zera and Taco waiting finally. Let's see what Cold Zera can do with that AWP in hand. Does he get a chance to use it? Yes, he does. And what a player to find, the one with the bomb. That does go loose, but Daps recovers, brings it back, and now we need to get that plant down.
It's going to be a retake scenario. Look at this boost up. This is going to work out. There's smoke there at the moment, masking this. Just as it fades, Rush gets up. That's going to be a dangerous spot. FNX, he's able to get one. There's Naf, and now he knows the boost is there, and Fallen takes him out. Fur on the retake, can't land the shot. Naf does connect with it. He's so incredibly low, and Dap's working with the smoke. He's now in a 1-on-3. He's feeling very lonely. And what can you really do here? There's no nades, at least, on the Luminosity side, but 2 ops are going to be trained in this position.
And they know exactly where he's going to be coming from, surely hit. And there you go. Taco will find him pretty comfy as Daps will be removed, and you can see him just like bounding backwards, watching his teammates just be ripped apart. And there we go. Good stuff from OpTic to be able to get the plant in that one, but it was a big investment. They still had that rifle there. They had the AWP there. Didn't quite get to use much of it. And 13-11 now. Luminosity closing a bit of the gap. Bearing in mind the money, as said, is pretty dire now for the T side. They do have Deagle, Flash, P250s. Not much to work on.
Yeah, they have a round to give up here, so the next round they're going to have a very, very strong bias. They'll get the 3rd round of the losing bonus working for them as well. Question is, how much can these Deagles do? Mixwell has only seen the damage he can deal with it. Rush as well. Try and keep the economy low, because it's not like it's solid for the Luminosity side. Taco's got 4K, but everyone else is not very strong. But look at the map control gain. This is now Luminosity reading this sile towards the B bomb site very, very well. And this, I would be surprised if maybe this doesn't continue into the next gun round, because FNX has gained so much intel on this flank.
Yeah, this is worrying. If they've worked out that this is a chance of an avenue of approach, that could end up going into the other rounds. And we asked if there could be a lot of damage done with the Degos. Taco going to be feeling that one, but there comes the flank into play, and it does manage to shut down pretty much everything OpTic were trying to build. Good shot from Rush, but he's still got a minute to try and keep hold of that M4. And he's going to make a dash for it, but Fur isn't far off. Oh no.
Yeah, not going to fall for that play.
Nope.
Fur ends at 13-12. Luminosity almost finally completing this, and now we're seeing the pause. You mentioned we didn't see it on Inferno.
I'm
but
glad
here,
to see that.
Yeah, OpTic has the presence here to make this happen.
Yeah, I think it's something we could have maybe looked at in Inferno and argued there was a time for it maybe, or a place. And again, some of the issues they were having were literally the fact that they just never built up the money to be able to do much about it. By the time they had that full buy, it was almost done and dusted. But still, this is nice to see. I want to see what they come up with now coming into this. They have to kind of deal with the fact that, okay, there's double up on the plate now. What's been working, what's been getting close, what hasn't been. It's kind of tough to kind of break down how do you take on Luminosity on Overpass.
Well, I mean, you're also not going to do it by just hitting one bomb site repeatedly. Yep. That'd be now Luminosity's going to start getting this kind of indication. You saw from the flank that time. So OpTic has to be able to at least run a default early on to show presence without losing players towards bathrooms, towards that A site, so that Luminosity can't get those quick flanks going on. Because now what you could possibly see is, yeah, I mean, they did give up that FNX had that big flank this past round by him getting 3 kills, but they could either do that again and maybe try and surprise him that way. They could be aggressive in bathrooms and have control of stairs, so then they have that very fast rotate. They could take control of stairs and then really isolate the map for OpTic. So I mean, there's a lot of things that Luminosity can do that OpTic has to be able to stop, and they haven't really shown that they want to gain any kind of control. They haven't even pressured long. I mean, Luminosity doesn't even need to send anyone to that part of the map.
You're not wrong, actually, thinking about it. I was like,
yeah, we haven't seen a single battle over towards long whatsoever this entire half.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of pressure, I think, a couple of times through bathrooms, but that's been it. Fallen's been able to kind of get himself in the right spot at the right time, almost all the, pretty consistently throughout this. So yeah, that could be quite interesting.
And maybe that's why, I mean, maybe that's just, they realize how dominant Fallen is with an AWP in bathrooms, and especially because maybe this is a map they don't play as much. Their own oppers, Mixwell, Naf, whoever's going to pick it up, aren't feeling as comfortable taking those duels or finding those angles.
It's perfectly acceptable to not want to challenge one of the best AWPers there is, pretty much. It's if you can play around isolating one of them, I guess until that double AWP does come out, do it. When the double AWP comes out, then you might have an issue to face because you're going to run into one of them, and you got to pick your poison. Coldzera or Fallen at this point.
Yeah, well, now they get to pick that poison. They're going to have that opportunity. But yeah, that's the thing. It is kind of tough because you say, okay, so at least you guys aren't just throwing bodies at a useless cause because you have no plan over towards the A bomb site. But at the same time, you have to be able to do it. You have to be able to at least negate the damage he can do. You don't necessarily have to kill him or challenge him, but like use smokes, take 2 players and use their utility just to force that defense of the A bomb site back. And then if you want to, if you have to, you could fall back into that B hit. But I mean, there's really been no pressure outside of maybe the pistol round on that A bomb site.
Well, here we go. This is where we see what they've come up with. Have they found a good plan in mind? Well, at least it doesn't look like the all-in-B rush. That's one thing. And look at Fallen already going for the information, spots out 2 on the cross. That's a little different. Fur's already pushed up at long as well, so he's going to be looking to do some damage. Gets the info on 1. And again, it looks like Luminosity very early on gets so much info as to how it looks like OpTic want to play this.
Yeah, I mean, this is very smart. This is exactly what we were talking about. Now they have a presence. They get out towards Fountain. They get out towards Playground. They force Fur back. Also, FNX missed his smoke and Underpass coming down Danger Stairs, so he has to fall away because he no longer has that to sustain him. So now it's all on. The last challenge towards this A bomb site that we talked about is Fallen. The final boss, if you will. Can they get control? Can they force this defense back without getting picked off by Fallen?
And I love how passive they are on B as well. They're sitting so far back on everything. They're just saying, okay, well, let's see what they do. Coldzera's pretty far back. I think Taco's with him as well. Also pretty far back. They're just giving this over. Yeah, exactly. This is great stuff. It's like, okay, well, let's see what they've come up with. Let's see how they're approaching it. And FNX could boost up Fallen as well, but he's got to make a dangerous play on long. He has to cross through as OpTic are actually working their way up. So Fallen's holding it down by that signpost at the bottom of long. Taco already kind of positioning over towards A quite early on. Again, maybe first hearing a couple of these steps as well. I wouldn't be too surprised if they're making a little bit of sound.
I mean, this has got to be a fallback for OpTic, though. You could see Rush and Nap just kind of teased it towards the top of Danger Stairs. Fallen's going to miss that shot. It seems like OpTic, they're a little bit confused on what they want to do here. And look at this mid-round aggression.
Wow.
That's the bomb.
That's insane.
Yeah, this round is essentially over. Luminosity finding the perfect timing, just picking apart this attack.
That was beautiful. Absolutely. I don't know how they read it. I don't know what they did to do that, but they just literally all got up, made the play, found the bomb, and now you leave Stanislaw alive with 3 seconds left. That was so good.
Yeah, well, they're just saying the timer's running down. We don't know what the hell's going on. So let's everyone push because we're either going to have a fast flight they won't expect, and Stanislaw might even get taken down. Okay, changes just. But that was also a little bit of, I mean, coming out of the pause, a little bit upsetting because OpTic had some miscommunication there. The two members with the bomb started rotating towards the top of the stairs, and then they came back. And I was a little bit curious why, because you almost had to feel like the entire plan this time, where they have this control, but they haven't put any pressure anywhere. With 15 seconds left, you have to imagine at some point the plan was go back towards the B bomb site, because they still had two members in short sewers, and it just never kind of happened. And now coming out of a pause like that, with this half going the way it is, you got to feel like it's very, very lost for OpTic. They've had a good showing from here, but they've run out of things in the playbook, especially now that Luminosity is just saying, all right, if you're going to hit B every round, we're just going to start flanking. And look at Fur again.
This is hard to watch. At least Naf is aware that this is a possibility, but the damage being dealt so far, it's been pretty one-sided. Naf left on 22 HP. Fur can just back away and go, well, where else are you going to push from? Okay, Dap's going to try and make a quick play off the back of it, so knowing Fur's out of position, where can he get to? And then there's the boss still. There's Fallen. Gets a glimpse. Actually misses the shot, so Daps gets to live to fight another second. I'd have said day, but
you only get one. You only get one missed shot from Fallen.
That's it. That's your one chance, and it's gone. So now you're left with 3 players, sadly. So you got down to Rush, who has the rifle with no armor. You had Mixwell, who had the scout. And you got Coldzera just bounding in, and look at this guy. Pick your poison, as said. You've got Coldzera, who can happily do that, who's done that several times. Or you go to Fallen, who barely misses a shot. This is very tough for OpTic to break into. Now you're seeing that. Oh, God, that P250.
Well, especially when they're spreading out. I mean, a lot of this T side is now just seems like it's going to start revolving around someone making an individual play. And that round, it doesn't work out. Yeah,
and the thing is, the scoreline is incredibly close still. 13-14. It's just OpTic have looked a little lost recently. They have looked like they're starting to be ground down. And FNX is going a little aggressive here. But then again, they kind of seem to abort the plan towards Fountain. But they go back to it a little later. And FNX. Timing is everything. And he gets the timing on his side. He can't make it away. Gets caught in the heels in the end by Mixwell. So a 1-4 on trade out. Fallen still pushed up quite aggressively here, though.
At least they punish it, though. They punish that aggression with the trade. So, I mean, they don't let it get away for free. They don't let, Fur drop a smoke in that choke point and just have him be paranoid for the entire rest of the round that they're going to get flanked. Fallen as well has got to be careful. He's very aggressive, and Daps can come up the stairs at any moment, but it's back to the B bomb site for the rest of OpTic. Pretty decent setup. Cold is aggressive on Catwalk with the AWP. Taco just spamming shots. And it looks like any moment Daps is going to walk right into the crosshair of Fallen.
And Fallen saw pretty much where that smoke came from, so he's got a decent idea about that, but it's down to Taco and Coldzera here to make sure this 3-man bit of a split doesn't come to anything, and it's going to be Taco just sending them packing. 3 kills back-to-back, Stanislaw, Mixwell, and Rush being punished, and Taco going to get more. That's 4 for him this round, and that does put Luminosity on not only map point, but match point.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's been 6 rounds in a row. It's been 8 of 9 rounds, and those are the gun rounds, by the way. You see the main ground that was gained by OpTic in this half was those, winning the second round of the ensuing anti-ecos after that. So once the gun rounds hit, they really haven't had too much of a response, or any response really. And that's the thing. It's a little bit of a bummer because, like you mentioned, the score is still close. It just doesn't feel like there's doesn't feel like it's that close, especially with Fur. I mean, they've just started
staying around.
Yeah, they've just started rushing this and just taking these fights. 2 kills for Fur. He now knows a third player is here. So all the intel gained, fallen with 1 on the NAF, and this could be the end of it.
It looks like LG piece by piece are putting together this puzzle, and it's been pretty easy for them, it seems, in the last couple of rounds. Sadly for OpTic, just seemed to run out of steam a little bit. And now Fallen sticking around. You can see how aggressive they are. They want to close this down now. He catches a pixel out of place. He doesn't quite get the shot. He gives Mixwell the chance. And now 2v3. Mixwell, who saved a round like this before, 2v4, has to go big again.
Back to those individual plays that we saw Mixwell do. You're exactly right in that 2-on-4. He gets 3 of the 4 kills that round. What can he do here? Because he has no control anywhere. Taco has control of short stewards. It's kind of switched because he's on the CT side. Now he does this on T side as well. This is going to be very familiar to him. And 2 members at that A bomb site waiting. I mean, they're only going to rotate if Taco has any kind of information to give him. It's going to be all on Mixwell trying to find something with this AWP. They have 2 smokes to work with, so they can put 1 in bank, 1 at the top of the stairs towards, in that bomb site. But 30 seconds left to decide what they want to do.
Mixwell saw FNX then jumping by bank. I don't know if FNX saw him. So that's one position they can not check off, but keep him in the back of their minds. But it's coldzera who's going to be the difference maker here. Oh no, it's coldzera to pull the trigger first, and I think that's it for OpTic. Daps falls. Luminosity will claim it at 16 to 13. The scoreline did look incredibly close. However, the gun rounds were decisively in Luminosity's favor.
Yeah, never really felt that close. But, I mean, just off the back of a pretty solid first half, OpTic was almost able to steal that map away, which we thought would be impossible, but I mean, obviously proving it's not impossible. Just they couldn't do enough in the end. This was the first start. This was that spray down. That's where it all went downhill for OpTic from there. That was the first round of this big streak from Luminosity, this big run they went on. This was actually that round they ended up winning, but a nice play from Cold. And then it just, I mean, really, you could tell it was going to be over once there was those pushes from Fur out towards Fountain. They just kept doing it. No one was really able to punish him.
However, for OpTic, this was a good showing for them. They not only challenged Astralis earlier by picking up that one, they did push Luminosity far, but that is all she wrote for OpTic for now. Luminosity will be moving on.
Predictable result, not quite the predictable outcome really, considering how far OpTic managed to push Luminosity. We are going to be remembering that one for a while, as will OpTic in the story of so close yet so far. Luminosity perhaps a little shaky, but still the Brazilians do manage to secure a spot in the semi-finals. Just 1 spot remains now, and that'll be battle between Fnatic and Liquid after we break down that map. It was Overpass, Jensen. Actually, you know, Yanko, I saw a little bit of disbelief in both your tweeting and just sitting there, and you were kind of like, is this actually happening? We saw OpTic really, I mean, can I say they should have won that game, or could have? Let's use the word could.
Well, of course they could have. Anything could have happened, Alex.
Yeah,
five people could have stopped playing. This belief was, okay, Luminosity is not the most disciplined team out there, but still some of the mistakes they were making were really uncharacteristic for a team of their stature, right? I felt that they were allowing for OpTic to get into this game. This is a bit of an unfortunate round for coldzera, that when he had two players with their back turned towards him, but unfortunately with the FAMAS he couldn't do anything, and this is the cursed fence, as we all know it. Impossible to get a kill through there. Next round, I mean round after that, coldzera gets a triple kill here, but again, this is Luminosity manages to lose this round as well. It's a 4v2 basically, a round that you should never lose, and somehow they managed to do it. And this is where it got dangerous a bit for them, because then their economy was low as well. You know, also that losing a round like that can put you on tilt, but they managed to overcome all of that and secure the game in the end.
Mixwell, a bit of an inconsistent presence, Blue. Like, that pick there onto Fallen, he's just outplayed Fallen.
Yeah, in all honesty, like, every single player on this team seems to be like an inconsistent presence so far based on the results from this tournament. We see some players like Mixwell last game, bottom fragging essentially, or just not really helping out all that much. And then he comes in the next game and he's playing this super aggressive style on the CT side that's not really being punished at all by Luminosity, granted, but still, he's allowed to do it and he's pulling it off. They're shutting things down from the CT side of things and then carrying that over onto the T side pretty efficiently there too. But where was that last game? We didn't see that at all. And that's becoming a very big issue now for OpTic, judging from their presence at this tournament, is that there isn't a consistent, you know, like frag leader or anything like that. Yeah, these players can show up in games, but when they show up is a complete question that's raised in the air every single map.
Yeah. You didn't quite get the opportunity beforehand. I'll give it to you now, just to justify where the doubt in OpTic comes from. I mean, I want to use the major as an example. You know, with Luminosity winning the major and OpTic Gaming have a very different adventure towards the major.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going into the major, we don't really see them performing very well at all, but coming into here, obviously they have a bit of a miracle run there. I think a lot of it is due to the fact that their opponents don't really give them the respect that they deserve going into that matchup. They're a little over-aggressive about it, but after they're able to adjust for it, Luminosity do manage to shut things down. Credit where credit is due, though. OpTic do show up here very well today. They did prepare for those matchups. It's just that with the players being right now such an inconsistency in the matchup, it's just not able to be something that they can carry over from map to map. And with that said, their opponent can oftentimes just shut them down at the end of the day. And thankfully this time it was Luminosity that are able to do it, and as such they now move out of the groups.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get 25 rounds versus Luminosity. I'm sure OpTic are going to be very kind of, I don't want to say happy with that. Of course, being in the semi-final would have been a whole lot sweeter. But OpTic have definitely
something to be proud of at the very least here, like that they did this well. I don't think no one was expecting them to come here and have this close of a set versus Luminosity, let alone beat Astralis as well in a best of one.
Luminosity now have a time to kind of relax, maybe get back onto this time zone and put their feet up before ready for the Saturday games that are going to be going on in the semi-finals over in London. So perhaps that R&R will remove some of those mistakes, Janko, that you've been kind of pointing fingers at the Brazilians. Any closing thoughts from you before we move to our final final best of three?
LG need to play much better and more disciplined if they are to have a chance against NIP in that semi-final.
Absolutely, they will. What a semi-final that will be. Won't be seeing that one just yet, though. There'll be a couple more days until that arrives in the CS calendar. But just before we do go and prepare ourselves for our final best of three between Fnatic and Liquid, I want to just go ahead and prompt you to head over to social media, because you guys have been fantastic so far, throwing all your tweets at the ESL CS account and using that hashtag ESL Pro League. So keep doing that. Let us know who is going to win between Fnatic and Liquid. Do you believe a North American presence will be there? Or will it just be South America that sits in the semi-finals? Let us know, guys, over on Twitter, and we're going to go ahead and take a quick one. When we come back, though, one more game for today.